It's been a minute since I made a video. I've been very busy working on this thing and getting stuff done. But yeah, this, if you remember the other trike mobility scooter, this is it, but reconfigured. It is very crazy looking now, and it's not even finished. I'm still working on it. The truck bed's gonna go back on it, just also got to be reconfigured to fit. It's going to look weird. People already love it going down the road. It has a big front tire. Very big front tire. Yeah. And it's got a head. But yeah, I mean, let me get up. I started rebuilding it when I realized I'd never have the new one that I'm building done in time, or enough of it usable in time for winter. So in my other one, I remembered how shit it did last winter. It worked, but it was annoying. So I rebuilt this one. I've been spending a lot of my effort on rebuilding it. More lower center of gravity, more forward weighted, raked out forks with a U-joint and a steering wheel now to help with the lower center of gravity, widened out, plus smaller diameter rear wheels, wider also. There's a dirt bike tire and tube on that original, that's the original e-bike 20-inch hub motor, but I've managed to squeeze a 16-inch dirt bike tire and tube on there. So that gives me more traction in the snow. Beefier forks, I had to rebuild those. And yeah, I'm slowly building this little cabin section. It's gonna have like doors, so there's the mirror, so that's the line. So all the way back, it'll have like that part you won't be able to see through, and then some of this or all of that will be see-through. So yeah, it'll be a little buggy, basically, a little three-wheeled. Sorry, this was here because I was checking where the dash, how far forward the dash could go before it runs into the steering column. So I used that to run from structure point. Anyways, but yeah, so the general fabric is just duct tape for now. It's really thick in the roof and the back, and some spots here, some spots it's still weak because I'm still trying to think. This is just kind of cover up. Maybe eventually I'll cut out a metal body and then grind away and just weld over or tack weld the little panels. Maybe. Doubt that it's ever going to be worth that. So I'll probably just keep the duct tape and just keep going over it, or spray glue and stick some shit over it or something for fun. But that's the general shape of it anyways. And it's got, instead of the motorcycle windshield, just a cheapo like $10 piece of plexiglass. Little thin stuff, but it's not as all fucked up as the motorcycle windshield. It is shaped to that though, so I did have to cut it at that taper. Because this is tapered. It is a tapered windshield. Right now, the headlights are cross-eyed. And that's what I said, I'm still working on it. I don't have the headlights wired in. They're pointed more or less down and cross-eyed, because that's just a little piece of aluminum I had, and I'm testing. That what I'm doing tonight is figuring out how I want the lights. And so I zip tied that leftover Halloween decoration to the hood of it, and yep. Anyways, sorry I was taking a shot there. That's where I'll have gotten the thumbnail for it, most likely. So that's it, basically. There's no mirror on this side still. That's because that mirror is the same old mirror I've been using for years out of a set of mirrors that one of them broke. They're all aluminum. There's no plastic to this set. It's all aluminum, and then the actual glass mirror. And then this is from a part of a guard to an angle grinder. But I mean, the rest of its original mount is all broken up and gone. And the other one, the mirror broke first, and this one's, its mount broke or something, and so I swapped some of its mount with the broken mirror one's mount, and then eventually those parts broke, and then I had to make this steel mount for it, and I think this hole's already threaded, but I switched it to a different bolt, one that I could adjust so that to adjust the angle here, and then other part of the angle gets adjusted there. You just loosen it up with an Allen head, and then this twists there, this twists, and then this is just steel, so I can kind of gently bend it and finagle it where I want it. It's thick enough it stays in the spot you leave it. But yeah, they got those. Those are 15-inch. And I'm actually going to be adding the stereo and all that stuff and whatnot from the way it was before. And then these are just hubcaps from a Power Wheels, and I just realized they clip right onto the end of my rear axle. So I'm going to do something with that. I'm not going to just do that because they'll just fall right off going down the road. But they clip right onto the axle nut. So I might make a thing, weld on to the end of the... So I've only got two. I've got two on this side, and I've only got one on the other side because I didn't have another one of these, but I've been meaning to buy another one. But this will be how it is. So on this last nut, maybe I could weld a little bit that sticks out and something, little metal bits that clip this or something, maybe, and just hold it there. It's a thought, because it would look funny, make people laugh, and I like seeing people giggle and laugh. But yeah, I've still got to modify this. I think I am going to be cutting the tow hitch at some spot, whether it be right there or all the way back here. Because when the truck bed goes on, the truck bed's not going on where the wheel wells are over the wheels anymore. No chance in hell of making that happen and still having a truck bed left, basically. Because I'd have to cut the floor out all the way to like there to get it that far to where the center of the top of this wheel is center of that wheel well. So, yeah, that won't work. So, but if I cut this little bit of flare out on the front, which is what I'm in the process of doing, basically make it to where this line's level, and then I can then cut some of the front out, not too much. I'm still going to leave the backboard from the inside, but this secondary layer that's on the outside, which will be up against that, I probably will cut to save some space, and it will be slightly above. So I'll make I'll make extra fenders that will attach and come out of car tire, and kind of fender do its thing, you know. Fenders, they do the thing. They fender over yonder and over yonder. But yeah, so car tire for the, and so it'll be here, and it'll be kind of like the little tiny shitty trunk you see on a golf cart. Be kind of like that. So it was kind of like that before, but except for the wheels were actually in the wheel wells properly. Now it'll be like some of those side-by-sides where the golf carts where the trunk little compartment like that is actually past the rear axle, its point, and it's up high kinda. Looks kinda goofy, so it'll be like that. So, you know, stupid, like the rest of it. But yeah, that means I'll have to build new little, so I'm not cutting off this section because it's on there pretty good, but to get my hitch back to where it's usable and not pointed at the freaking ground, because I designed it when I was running 20s on the back. Now I'm running 15, so of course that angle's off, you know, so I gotta level it back out and maybe raise it up a little further. And I'm going to use that as an excuse too to finally get a thing that's probably, I don't know, I'm going to figure out a way to have one of the little flat ones that can take a ball or just a pin, so you can either put the ball in it or not, basically bolt a ball on or not. Just do something like that, and so it'll be the big flat thick one with the big round hole in it. I don't know if that sounds right to y'all, but yeah, that's about what I think I'm going to do once I raise it up and then it comes out. So it'll have a more traditional idiot looking, I don't know, those dumb extension ones. They raise it up and put it out, but it's all going at like a 45-degree angle, weird conversion. It'll look some stupid like that. And that way, it does the thing. Like fenders. Yeah, because I'm going to be building an actual trailer that will be like a camper and stuff. So, and I'm going to make it like towable with an actual vehicle. Well, with this will be it'll use the same parts. I don't think it'll be able to be towed up to speed like a vehicle because I'll probably be building it for comfort, not for highway speeds. Like this thing, I took it up to like 25-ish, maybe 30 earlier today before I brought it in the house. So it still has its full potential, give or take, even though, I've made a giant brick out of it. But it still goes pretty damn fast. Especially, it gets better traction now. It doesn't just sit and do a burnout, so it's got good acceleration. And I've put a new XT90 connector on the thing, and I've been testing and feeling of it. It don't get hot or nothing no more there. I learned my lesson. Don't do the twisty twist and then tape it up. Don't do that, because that twisty is like a coil in, like a coil heater in your car or anything, or electric heater in anything. That wire is going to do the electromagnet thingy, and then it's going to heat up and make more heat. Even if it is a good strong twist and there's enough metal there or to be able to handle the amperage you need, it's the coil shape of it, the repetitive coils that twisting and then wrapping it around itself again and again makes. Basically, you made a heater or a fuse, or, well, you could call it anything you want. It's just a piece of wire that's going to get hot until it don't no more. And then it ain't got no more continuity. And something might be on fire. But anyways, I learned my lesson with that. It was getting hot, and heat is just a waste of power, and I was kind of getting annoyed by that. Even though it was maintainable, it wasn't like too hot or anything, and it was only in extreme scenarios. Of trying to use a lot of torque and stuff, fast, playing around. And so now it's not like that. So I'm not going to be wasting any power. It'll actually all go to this. And like whenever I was goofing off before and I would floor it, maybe that'll be too much now, because it'll actually go to the motor and not get converted to heat at the cord. And so maybe I won't have to floor it as far. You get what I'm saying? It's like getting that extra bit of fuel for your car. It is the same damn thing. What am I saying? Conservation of energy. Wait, no, not mines. Anyways, so that's all the redneckery. Wiring has a double throttle. I have to clean. I live in an apartment. That was an accident. I learned the hard way. Don't drink and drive. Not even if you don't intend to drive. Don't even sit in the damn thing. But it has a spring-loaded throttle, which is also a potentiometer. Just, spring-loaded one. It came off of another electric little scooter thing that someone gave me or traded me or something. I forget. But it doesn't have the cable in it because I don't need that. This was originally for variable regenerative braking, or variable force anyways. Whether or not it actually sent power to the thing, it was still crossing the phases, and at the very least it was crossing the phases and going through a do-wacky. It does do that. It's built to just get hot and turn power into heat and waste it. They make those. It's like a ballast type of thing. What's it called? Not a ballast. It might be. Part of it's in a ballast, I think. I'm forgetting words. This is why I'm not a professional electrical engineer. But I know how the things work. I just don't remember all the lingo. But resistor. Ha-ha! This resistor, the ceramic ones that can handle a lot more heat and stuff. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the thing that this originally came off of, where it's variable, it could be variable like going to like bridge rectifier and then the three-phase full bridge rectifier, or is it just bridge rectifier? I don't remember. To DC straight, and then then this all that goes to go through some MOSFETs so that you can control it with the thingy, the 3-wire thingy that can vary the voltage signal, and then what's next? I lost my train of thought. It crashed into Marty McFly. Oh, let's see. Forgot what I was even saying. Oh, variable. Oh yeah. So yeah, that varies the intensity of how much power you're dumping into that resistor at once, because the MOSFETs help with that and all. And that way this little signal sender doodad ain't taking all the power. The MOSFETs are, and so is the resistor. And then your power dumping, dumping power. Because the MOSFET has a signal switch, a signal pin as well. And some of them pins is signal pins and some of them isn't, just like on relays and shit. Anyways, MOSFET is a relay. Put it that way. It's all the same fucking shit. I don't know. Transistor radio. It's also a MOSFET, isn't it? I can't remember. There's slight differences in a lot of them, but it's all the same shit. Anyways, where were we? So yeah, it has a brake here. Or not a brake. It has a throttle here that's just spring-loaded, like riding on one of them old Honda Odyssey thingies. So, and then the other brake is right here, which I haven't made it a big flappy flap thing yet, because so far I haven't needed to, because it's in a good spot. I made sure to put its little bar mount, which is just off the steering column there. I made sure to put that in a good spot where I can do that. And right now they're kind of weak and shit, so I need to get them bled again and probably new pads. But yeah, eventually. See, that's aluminum, and it's hard to change out this particular one's little bar without affecting some other shit. So I'm just leaving it for now, and eventually I might tap into it or reshape this and make a little piece that comes over it and out of steel and bolts onto it or something that's easier to do that with. It's just like a little round, bigger and rounder, and puts the angle of pull, puts it like this. So like that. Why didn't I do that before? Because these are hydraulic brakes. And also they're just bicycle hydraulic brakes. Completely I gotta switch to bigger brakes, but that also means I need to get a bigger brake rotor. And then I also have to make and weld a newer brake caliper mount on the forks. So I'm waiting till I can afford to get all of that together, because there's no point in starting, because that would mean disabling this setup. So barely good enough is good enough. But yeah, eventually I'll get a bigger round, like a dirt bike or full motorcycle sized brake caliper. I might have to search for a really thin one. Might get lucky, and with the way my forks are in the rebuild, I might be able to actually use a thicker one and a regular, just random old heavy duty caliper. Right now it's on this side. And I might keep it that way. I don't know. But yeah, so, and I'd probably reuse this one as an adapter. Maybe. Or weld this one to the other one or something. if I can get everything centered, or just jack it up, do it half-assed, and then rotate it and run the grinder on it. And if you're wondering, this is just barely like the paint is off of it. Clearancing because this shit is in the way. It's why I need a larger one, not just for the power, stopping power, but also to get up here in this fucking area where I have more space. Down here with this thing, motor, I have no space. So I need to get like a significantly larger one that's at least like comes to like here at least. So let's see. Where's my finger? Alright, so it would come to here hopefully, and then I'm reckoning the caliper mount would somewhere, it might have to be here or something. Probably still be on this pipe section, because this is part of the original forks, this pipe section. It's on both sides. It's laid into that angular like fence post stuff. That's the thick kind, not the thin bendy kind. There's different thicknesses and lengths and whatnot. But anyways, so that was laid in there on this one that was still a nice, perfectly squared, straight one. So I just laid in there in a certain way, kind of tack it a little bit while it's bolted to the wheel. And then, you know, kind of bend and manipulate before you ever do anything permanent. And then once you get it where you want it, start really making it permanent, little at a time. Like, as long as it's rolling straight enough between these forks and the two mounting points, which is there and up there, and that's a piece of all thread turned into a bolt, basically, and the bolt is also part of the U-joint system, so it's the other half there, basically, welded to that. So you got to undo the steering setup to take the forks off, which, you know, makes sense. You know, that's kind of duh. Because this is like motorcycle setup. It's two solid pieces. So basically, until you take the steering bits apart and then raise that bolt and U-joint piece up out of there, this ain't going nowhere. It's like you'd have to cut it apart. It's welded. This piece is just kind of welded in there. It's not really solid. My phone's at 5%. Have I been ranting this long? Anyways, Skeletor's balls. See you later.